Commander, you're at 5. I'm going to take off. Mighty myself, take off on full.
People like you, organizations like RampCheck, I love you guys.
You are clear for takeoff runway 21 left. Winds are called. Stand by for the retrans on uniform. It's showtime.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the RampCheck Aviation Podcast Livestream. I'm Tony.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm little brother Ryan. Hello, brothers.
It's
Yeah,
good to
get
have
up.
the whole gang back.
Yeah, no shit. What has it been, like 6 months?
I
That's
know.
all right. No one's giving us too much shit, right?
Just us.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, no, it's been kind of a hectic couple of months. I know that Aaron's jumped on by himself before. I jumped on with Wadman. Yeah, and Ryan's had soccer, and that's no longer. And then
House
right
remodeling.
after, I was going to say right after soccer or during soccer, you guys just decide to remodel your fucking houses, so you have nowhere.
Hey, guess what though? I would say to put it into scale, I think we're like 85% done. So we're almost there.
Nice. We're back and we're better.
That's right.
That's right. Absolutely.
By the way, I have to do this just because of, there was this thing in the that happened in the United States yesterday, last night, and okay, there we go.
Hold on.
I know. Okay.
Hold
Gotta
on.
zoom
Hold
out.
on. Hold on. It automatically brought it up that way. So go ahead and keep talking. I'm gonna fix
Okay,
that.
you're gonna try
while we do
and
that.
fix it. Yeah, I think you're real pixelated, brother. I don't know if there's something going on with your internet connection or what.
I don't know.
Yeah, it'll fix
No,
itself.
it's showing a good signal, and I'm not seeing
Yeah.
any warnings on my end.
Ryan looks clear. I look clear. And pale as usual.
I look clear on my end, so I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe somebody in the chat can confirm that. But
Yeah. Does Aaron look pixelated? Somebody let us know. And of course, if you're if you're not watching, you wouldn't know to do this. But hey, just chime in and say hi.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Okay. Our special guest says no, so I think you don't look pixelated. Well, how is it? Well, there we go.
Oh,
Yeah. That's perfect, man. That's awesome. Oh, so Tony, that was the little thing you were talking about, huh?
What little thing?
That happened yesterday?
Oh, yes.
Gosh. Duh.
There was an election.
Yeah.
And the good guys won. How is it that we all got small? Let's see. Oh, because that's still up there. Hold on. Let's see.
how about him?
Here, exit out of it.
How about him?
There we go.
There we go. So anyway,
Okay.
I got a little funny story about that. Okay, so dope Chris. Okay, dope driver.
Mm-hmm.
He hates Trump. Okay, he just anyway. There's a lot. You love or hate Trump. You're either or. Okay, so. Anyway, when everything was going down, I was posting some things on my personal Instagram, and we follow each other on personal Instagrams. And we were just kind of going back and forth. And so I superimposed that Trump wave and put that on him and said that to him on Instagram. And
Oh, God.
he got a good laugh out of it.
Yeah. At
He
least
had a sense of humor.
I was gonna say at least
Yeah.
we know Chris would have taken that fine. So
Yeah.
first person checking in tonight is Hess. What's up, man? He says I'm watching on my phone and I can't see shit. So
Okay. Well,
thanks for nothing,
right.
Hess.
I don't see shit
Sorry
either.
about that.
Aaron appeared.
Or should I have said I can't see poop emoji with the smiley face.
That's right.
All right.
Oh, thank
So
you.
I told you guys, when I jumped in on the podcast when I went on my concert thing the other night. So never mind.
Yeah.
I won't mention it again. I guess we just need to be,
we know. Tony was at a concert. We all know.
But on tonight's episode titled "Talking Aviation with AVGeekJoe," and we got a special guest tonight. Joe will be jumping on.
Yeah, you guys will have a good time listening to Joe. He's always a lot of fun to chat with.
This will be a fun one. If you're not familiar with AVGeekJoe, I got one word: Bayo. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. But so tonight on the podcast, China's showing off their latest fifth generation aircraft at the China Zhuhai Airshow 2024.
Nice.
And I don't know if you guys saw this. I think I sent this to you guys, brother. But there's a new NOTAM that was just issued that reveals a possible launch date window for Starship Flight 6.
Nice.
Yes.
There
right?
we go.
Beautiful.
I know. And US Space Force launched an ICBM test on election night last night. That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that.
And I think this will bring us to our first story. In fact, I'm going to show our first let's see here. We'll see if I can get this up here. So Tyler Ogaway, very prominent aerospace / avgeek, is at aviation_intel on X. Creator, editor-in-chief of the War Zone, and lots of other endeavors. I love this post right here. This is happening again, gang. Oh, yeah. Look at how beautiful that thing is.
I know. And the funny thing is we're purposely not having AVGeekJoe on this part because we want, because we know it probably lights him up a little bit. I'm not sure he likes President number 47 like we do.
Yeah, but anyone can appreciate how cool that aircraft looks. Right? So
and
I love it.
And just like a raging case of herpes, it'll grow on you. Anyway, wait.
Well, no, I wouldn't know that.
Just for yes, I've heard.
Okay.
I have this friend. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
Jeez. Well, you said it, not us. BH checking in, and I knew he was going to talk about this. Hey, girlfriends, how about that J35? Well, if
it's coming up, brother.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'll be
BH
talking about it for sure.
Coming up.
It's kind of interesting. But Aaron, you want to kind of follow up on this lead story? And there's a great story that was just put up on, that one aerospace.
Simple
page.
Flying.
Gosh, I drew a blank. It's been a minute. I'm out of practice. Anyway.
And
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's the herpes.
Anyway, hey, this was published 9 hours ago by Dylan Shaw. This is beautiful VC-25B, obviously 7478I, the new Air Force One. But anyway, will President-elect Donald Trump change the Air Force One livery again?
No, I didn't know. And
go ahead.
You're going to cover this in the story, but I mean, I knew this was the design, and it was the 747-8 Intercontinental, based on that. But I didn't realize that a certain president, as soon as they got into the White House, decided, oh no, we can't have those colors.
Yeah, well, there's a debate back and forth. Should it continue on in the legacy, paint, just kind of updated a little bit, or should it be changed a little bit? Let me read some of this article, and then we can kind of go back and forth. Maybe even bring in AVGeekJoe or something to give an opinion. We'll see
get
about that. We'll get to him soon. But anyway, Donald Trump has just been elected the 47th president of the United States of America in what was a tight election on Tuesday against, I don't know if tight is the right word, but anyway, against Democrat candidate Kamala Harris as Trump assumes office. Question the president's mode of air transport, known as Air Force One, also comes into play. Earlier this year, he indicated that he wanted to revise the paint scheme of the upcoming pair of 747-8s back to a plan he proposed during his first term. Featured darker red and black colors initially scrapped by predecessor Joe Biden. 2020 to 2024, it seems entirely plausible that Trump will once again attempt to make changes to the jet, no matter the cost. The Air Force One fleet currently consists of 2 modified 747-200Bs, designated VC-25As. Okay, I wish I could do a good Trump voice because I'm absolutely going back to red, white, and blue. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it.
Absolutely.
We're absolutely going back to red, white, and blue. I hear everybody loves it. They tell me all the time. Okay.
That's the closest I think we're going to get. Anyway, a former senior Trump White House advisor said in late July to Politico that it would be absolutely in character for Trump to make changes to the planned paint scheme for the new Air Force One aircraft known as VC-25Bs, scheduled for delivery in 2027 and 2028. The pair of 747-8s are currently planned to sport the iconic Kennedy-era blue and white scheme, which,
nice.
You know, Kennedy's not bad, you know.
Well, how about we just do 1 and 1?
Yeah, maybe.
Problem
hell.
solved.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Trump initially revealed plan for a new color scheme back in 2018.
Trumpalicious.
I know. Trump initially. Anyway, in an interview with CBS News, red, white, and blue Air Force One is going to be incredible. It's going to be top of the line, top in the world, and it's going to be red, white, and blue, which I think is appropriate. This plan is oddly reminiscent to the color scheme of his own private jets. So he's patriotic. Come on. Anyway, he assured, however, that his adjustments were not for his own benefit, but rather for his successors. Well, Trump said the following.
And later down in the story, there's a picture right there of Trump Force One. Okay, so there's some red, white, and blue, but I don't think it looks close at all.
Nah, it's not. I mean, it's got the American flag on the tail, but I mean,
it's completely flipped in a way.
I think maybe
flipped.
I think maybe as a big middle finger to everybody who's critical of that, he should just put that big gold Trump on the side of Air Force One.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but anyway,
that would make some people's heads roll, or eyes roll, but that would be awesome. Let me hurry and just before you finish, sneak in a couple of chats here, Aaron.
Go right ahead.
From Kristen W. Hi, from Bayo's girlfriend.
How's it going?
Hey,
there you go.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, nice to see you tonight. Thank you.
And then BH airliner talk. Hold on, my eyes are rolling oh my gosh. You'll be okay, BH. You can listen to some airline talk. And here's BH chiming in again. Tony, are you taking me to dinner next week? You know I'll be up there, right?
I didn't know you were going to be up here.
Geez, speaking of rolling my eyes.
Right?
Hey, I brothers, I think we need to bring AvGeekJoe on real quick so he can finish this article with us.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. I'm going to bring him on. Stand by. Boom. There he is.
Look at that, everybody. Joe.
What's up, Joe?
Welcome to the podcast.
Well, it's great being here, and I gotta tell you, I really hope that the Dawn does do that paint job and does fly it low over the ruins of Gaza. I'm sure that would be redemptive. And then decides to low fly some of these great universities in this country, and while he defunds them because they're anti-Semitic. So, there's a certain university I have in mind.
Joe is going
jumping right into it, huh?
Politics. Well,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Political Talk on the RampCheck Aviation Podcast.
We'll try to keep it the aviation angle, but hey, we love you, Joe.
It's an okay paint job for the era.
It's It is, to me. It could be either way, in my opinion, because I think the classic kind of lighter blue also looks good. I think the moving things into the newer times also could be good. I just think a lot of people don't like it because the people that hate it just hate Trump, and I think that's probably what it's about. But
Yep.
I don't know.
Let's be honest, that's what some of it's about. But
Yeah.
I must say that if Donald Trump has any brains whatsoever, he will offer Kristen Beowulf the Secretary of the Air Force, and if she declines, we'll reach out to Heather Lucky Penny and make her the Secretary of the Air Force.
Well,
And,
Bayo for Air Force One pilot.
I was
There you
going to say,
go.
would you settle
oh,
for
that would be
Joe?
fun. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sure that
right?
would be. The promise is, I think we'd see Air Force One develop 4 F-35 engines, and it will
Well-
flares and be on every single air show schedule. And Donald Trump would get the Supreme Court and the Congress to give a third term.
Just
So,
oh my God.
Love
right.
it. Hey,
That would have
third
to be a
term's
deal.
fine with me. I like your angle there,
The
Joe.
thing about Bayo being the pilot of Air Force One,
I
okay,
kind of like the
if
idea.
If they were ever under attack, there would be nobody that would know evasive maneuvers better than Bayo.
More than Bayo.
She could make that 747 do shit it was not meant to do. You know she could.
Good
and-
point.
You know what we need
Exactly.
to do? We need to contact the Utah Air National Guard, and we need to set up a fam flight with Bayo as
dude.
captain.
Well, hey, speaking of Bayo, so Kristen W here, that's gotta be Bayo right there. Okay. So she's all love your background, Joe. She knows that that's her in that airplane. Popping
That
those
is
flares.
Right?
There is a story
And-
behind this. There is a
Okay.
story behind it, and it was
Go
literally,
ahead.
it has some politics involved. So let's tell it now.
Let's do it.
2023, Congress is about to shut down.
Okay.
The shutdown clock.
2023.
Yeah,
Oh,
2023
okay.
Pacific Air Show.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's October. The
Uh,
clock is running. The shutdown clock is running. The weather is getting bad. And the air show guys are like, we don't want to have the F-22 and the F-35 around.
Gotcha.
And I'm yelling, we want BO. We want BO. We want BO. We want BO. Trying to get everybody fired up for God's
Yeah.
gift to air shows. And nothing against Ross Larson. He's a great guy. He did help out that day with doing
Yeah.
a weather check, and he did fan the F-22. I happen to have F-22 with me. He was like,
it's crazy, Joe. We
Because
were
I
down
was
there for
inverted.
we were down there for Pacific Air Show this year, and weather was also an issue again. It really sucks. It's such a great lineup. But anyway,
Maybe-
continue your
maybe
Yeah,
story.
yeah, it was the fog show. It was also the. I'm still recovering a month later.
Maybe,
I will. I
maybe
mean,
maybe the Pacific Air Show shouldn't happen in the Pacific anymore.
Ca-
Move it a
I
little
was
further
thinking-
inland.
I think next year we should just call 1-900 call BEO,
Oh God.
and that
Dude,
will
are you
solve
saying Bayo has
the
a 900 number? That's pretty bad. I don't think that. Should
I
be the
think
case.
she deserves one because she's that
I
good.
think.
Yeah, I don't think her girlfriend who's
Yeah, I
listening
don't-
right
I
now
don't-
would
I don't
agree.
think Sarah-
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't think
you-
Sarah's
you
gonna agree
should
with
have,
that one.
otherwise it would be ridiculous. She
Here's
couldn't
how
fit.
it would go. Welcome to 1-900 Bayo. Would you like to
Save your air show?
adjust my flaps? How about I yank on your yoke?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
God.
Okay,
Okay,
all right,
that's enough.
Joe.
Okay, you're not
No.
Okay,
you're
let's
missing
go
the point.
back. Joe, here we go.
Thank you. You're missing the
Continue
point.
your
Jesus.
story.
The
Oh
air
my
show was
God.
about to wash out. I was about a half hour for having to call the lift to get
Okay.
out of there
Okay,
because we have a flight to make.
sure.
We're on the countdown clock. Okay, we are just literally, and
Hmm.
all of a sudden, the Heritage flight starts.
Mm-hmm.
Ras comes in to save the day,
Mhm.
and he's coming in his F-22. He's jamming, doing the Hoover pitch
Sure,
and
sure.
like that. He's blocking the clouds. And he certainly did what he could this year. But we're not on the countdown clock. We think Congress is going to cancel all air shows for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
I didn't
right.
tell that part
right.
yet. And ICAS said, military's been told if the air shows go if the shutdown happens, military's told you're flying home for it done. And that's it. End of the air show season.
Oh, that sucks.
Yikes.
I had a chance to photograph models at the Museum of Flight. I had to graciously bail out of because there was no way in hell I was going to miss this last dance of BO.
Yeah.
And and for some reasons that we can go into, they're somewhat political. I couldn't go to Florida. But you know, it was just horrific. And then there comes BO dropping, you know, coming in and tearing up the place 15 minutes, dropping flares. It was like, oh my God, this was the zenith of her abilities. This was like, this is why you get a 1-900 number, because you get paid just for having to take somebody's questions. Unlike lawyers, you get a free consultation. I don't think BO should have to do stuff for free. She's that good. I mean, these flares, they may not be a big deal to you, but this is something I wanted since before the pandemic.
Hey, where'd that music come from?
I'm just messing around.
Oh,
Anyway.
And you know, I mean, high alpha pass. I mean, but the flares definitely is something I always wanted.
Well, and that kind of lighting too, man. Those flares really popping with the colors, and man, that would have been awesome to see. And I love how you captured this with a flare just exiting the aircraft. You know,
it was sweet. Like I had set the camera at the D70. I'll put it in the chat. The D7500. 8 frames a second. 8 frames a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it was like, and I was just hoping I would get one at the right time.
And you did. And you say you say this was her last flight or just her last time at Pacific?
Last time at Pacific.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
More demos after this, and I wasn't able to make Florida for multiple reasons.
Oh, okay, awesome. So that was very sentimental for you then to get, correct?
It was very sentimental and very important. And at the end, I will admit, look, I'm a grown man, 42 years old, been through some things. I went home invasion. And I got to tell you, I was like, oh, man, no more. No more greatness. No more. It was like Wayne Gretzky. Just you know, no more Wayne Gretzky. No more Russell Wilson. No more, you know, pick your favorite athlete. I mean, nothing against Hawk. Let me just say this, just so I say it, okay? Because I feel an obligation to the team whose shirt I'm wearing today. You know, Mock Klusner is a hero to me. She has picked up the legacy of the greatest fighter pilot of all time, the GOAT, the legend. There is only one person who could do that. I can tell you right now that I don't care. You know, you have to have somebody who knows what they're doing up there. Because you have to have so many practices, you have to have so much, you know, there's so many damn regulations you got to deal with, like ceilings and stuff, and you can't go supersonic, you can't just go, you gotta hold it together, and you gotta be a real show woman. And
well, I think what's
that. And I really want to stick up in the fid for Mock because she is carrying.
Mock's great, man.
Mock is great, and you know, I do think what's impressive that I want to say about these demo pilots is, you know, we do things in our everyday lives, and if you do them repetitively, it's easy to get complacent. It's easy to make mistakes. It's easy to do things like that. But these girls that are flying, doing the demo with the F-35, I mean, they're so professional. They're so precise. They're so good at what they do. And it's just amazing that they do that so much, and they bring that energy to just every air show. It's great. I love it. And I was going to say, Joe, when you were saying how it was sentimental to you and you're 42 years old now, you're on the right podcast if seeing aircraft gets you a little teared up from every now and then. So you're on the right podcast.
We've been misty-eyed many times at air shows.
Many times. Yeah.
Good to know.
Every time I see the Thunderbirds, every time I hear "God Bless America," although I hate Celine Dion, you know, when that Diamond Pass, it just gets me choked up every time I hear it. Let's take a second. I want to catch up on these chats really fast. By the way, so it's actually Kara.
Yeah.
Kristen's
Kara's
Kristen's
great too.
account.
She's awesome. Yeah.
And yeah, she was laughing, I guess.
I
at our
think she
1-900
threw
comment.
that chat on there when we were talking 1-900 Bayo.
Right.
Probably. Probably.
And
with all the
BH
big laugh.
Oh man.
Yeah, BH,
Matt,
we have gone wild.
Matt Thiemann, Matt the Man, checking in with the A10 demo final performance this weekend. Oh shit. Forgot about
Gosh,
that.
final. God, speaking of getting
Not-
teary-eyed.
I know, right?
Yeah, I know.
Do you think we're gonna get a bone demo team next year? Speaking of 1-900 numbers.
God, no, we're not. I would say
Probably
the next.
not. Yeah.
I'd say the next demo team will be probably like F-15 EX or something eventually when they get
Right.
enough of them.
Yeah.
But
BH4.
Tony also gets choked up when he finds Pearl Harbor DVD.
That's right. Didn't he
Especially-
at a red
especially
flag?
Especially
It
when
was
they
at a
come
red
to
flag like a
BH.
couple years
Oh, yeah,
ago.
BH did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was before Tony really knew Brian.
Right.
And
the fuck is
Tony
this?
thought it was the weirdest, creepiest thing that he just threw a Pearl Harbor DVD, and Tony like threw it out of his truck like he was offended. It was so
No, I didn't. What are you talking about?
yes,
You're such a liar, dude.
Boom, roasted.
boom roasted.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's funny.
Going back to Bayo really quick, and then we can get on to the next story. And thanks for watching. Karen, maybe Bayo's watching too. She just doesn't want to admit she's watching the RampCheck Aviation podcast. But Bayo was great and a lot of fun to cover. The years. Being here in Utah at home at F-35 demo team. And that very last air show at Hill Air Force Base earlier this year, Bayo was kind enough to, sign some
Absolutely.
pictures that we did. And Joe was there too, as a matter of fact. He was in town.
Yeah, and Joe, I wanted to say, by
Kara
the
was
way,
there.
you look a little different without all that sunscreen on your face.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He caked it on good. He must have gotten burned really, really bad. In the past.
Let's just say I've been burned bad in the past, and
Yeah. Oh, we all have at air shows.
So have I.
And
So
plus,
have
I expected a certain mock to really burn up the place. And she did.
Oh, listen to that. Or he was
Nice.
hiding. He was gonna blush like crazy when Bayo or Mock walked by. So he's like, I gotta coat it up so that they won't see it.
Speaking of that, when Dale signed those posters for us, right behind me over here, let's see.
Oh yeah,
right
that's Tony's. Yep, right
that's the collage that we gave to Bayo and her plaque. This is a print of it, but
yeah, that's a
but
print
she
copy
signed
of
it
it.
for all of us. So that was very nice of you, Bayo. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. And then Kara's saying she's watching from Twitter. So there you go.
Oh God! If I ever find that account, it'll be fun because maybe we could have the former president. Maybe we could have the president elect. Work on his getting a third term by saying, "Hey, I will bring BO. I will give the Utah Air National Guard the Vermont Air National Guard of 35 because Bernie Sanders just got reelected and his state absolutely does not love jet noise." Now, I do have a slideshow share for you guys.
They do not.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
You want to do it?
Let's do it, Joe. Let's
All right,
do it.
let's see if this.
Oh, hey, I do have a question for you though, Joe. If President Trump said to you, "Hey, Joe, I will bring Bayo on as Air Force One pilot, and
They
Mock
tell me she's a great
as
pilot.
as the co-pilot, would you vote for me? Would you
Yes.
do it?"
would
Oh shit! Look at that! I just took that.
If we knew this all
Hey,
along,
we are mending hearts here, people, at the RampCheck Aviation Podcast. We are bringing America together, both sides, left and right. Go
through
America.
aviation, through the
Through
love
aviation.
of aviation.
That's
we
right.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Funny.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead with your slide.
Yeah, I gotta tell the whole story. You gotta remember, I would be back at the Arctic Thunder Air Show back in 2018.
Okay.
And then, the first one was Tacoma. I was standing at the end of a pier, had my 100 to 400 milliliter lens on.
Do you want me to turn the slideshow on
I
for
got
you,
it.
or you're going to do it? Okay, gotcha.
I'm running it. I
Okay.
hope it's working.
We don't see it on screen yet. We have to turn it on for you.
I'll turn it on.
There it is.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Joe.
Okay.
Gotta put the baby picture on. Okay.
There you
You know,
go.
the first air show, you know, and I used to be a skeptic of the F-35. I'm not anymore. I now am honored to cover it for Simple Flying.
Mhm.
And then, you know,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah,
God.
we forgot to mention that too. Yeah. Follow Joe's
Yeah.
work on Simple Flying. Everybody knows Simple Flying.
Yeah, good. Because, oh my God, when I my heart was like about here. I'm like, finally, in November of 21, I got to see her in person, you know, and it was like, oh, I was yelling as loud as I could. The ground guys told me they could hear me yelling
Yeah.
sentences,
Oh, I bet.
Oh, wow.
like you guys taught me, you know.
Over the engine or over
Oh,
the?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I was like, oh my God, I finally get to photograph a woman I knew flying. Finally.
Yeah.
I didn't get to photograph Major Katie. I didn't get to photograph Carlene Pettit, some of the other lady pilots. So this was a big deal. And of course, I had to tell Beal I could see that burner like 5-6 miles away.
Mhm.
It's like a mobile sun, you know?
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So
And
this is so this was like for you, like a 15-year-old being at a Taylor Swift concert, right?
I think that's an apt comparison.
Okay, all right.
You can compare Beal to Taylor Swift, and you can
Nice.
compare Mach to Sophie Ellis Baxter.
Okay, there you go.
But the title didn't come out on this slide, but here's from the Great Twilight Show of 2022.
Okay.
I have PowerPoint for you to get here. And then, you know, here's Seafair 2022 when she was just flaring the whole place up. I mean, my God. This is one of my favorite memories. I mean, finally getting to see that. And then Aviation Nation
What year did you say this was?
2022.
22. Okay,
22,
nice.
Okay, 22. Okay, cool.
Wow.
Yeah. and we
Are
got-
you can you click on that next slide there, Joe? I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think
not.
it came up.
It's not pulling. It's not enlarging. It's just
Okay,
it's stuck on the first slide there. We can see your screen and your cursor moving around, but we can't. It's not enlarging. I don't know if you can see it on your end or not.
Let's try. Okay, let's
Try
this
something
again.
else. Okay, sure.
Okay, try window presentation 1, share. Okay, we're now at 2023. Again, the same
All right.
setup: D7500, 100 to 400 millimeter Sigma. I've got
Okay,
the
here we
shutter
go.
speed pretty high.
Here we go.
You know,
Sure.
it's Twilight. Oh my goodness, it's really good. You know, the Oregon Air Show every year has a really great Twilight show on Friday.
Okay.
In May in Hillsboro, and the nice thing is pretty much you can, you know, get an Airbnb in Portland and get on to TriMet Max and a short walk, a decent walk, about 10-15 minute walk. You can walk through the airshow gate, so it's pretty
Mhm.
good.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hey, Joe, just a question. Can you put that in slideshow mode so we can?
I have it in slideshow mode.
Presentation mode, I guess. Okay. So
Sorry.
for some reason, sharing it through
Yeah,
this
that's
system
Let's try
is
this
not
again, okay?
allowing it. That's okay.
All right. Let's try it
No.
again.
BH
No
agrees.
Okay. Now does it work?
Let's see.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Yes.
Yes, there we go. That's
Perfect.
it.
All
right.
right.
We'll try this over
Beautiful.
again, and I'll.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, now
There
it's
we
working good.
go.
Yeah.
Now it's full size. Here, I'll take our. Let's see. Let me put the smaller logo on so it doesn't fill up so much. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Here we go. Here's Seafair 2022. The big flares
Okay.
over Lake Washington.
I like how you
Sweet.
spelled Bay, Oregon.
I know.
Yeah,
Bay
I
Oregon.
know.
Hey, what city is that in, Joe? The Oregon Air Show?
Hillsboro.
Hillsboro. Okay, thank you.
My buddy Steph Strickland runs that show, and you know, it's like a 10-minute walk from the TriMet Max station. You know, you don't need to take your car. You know, save a little money. Spend it on camera stuff. you know, spend on food, whatever. But yeah, it was really rather rip roaring. And then we had, I can't help myself. You know, I know BO Thunder. I mean, the whole place was ripping apart for 25 minutes. I mean, the base commander's son was extremely impressed, and the base commander's flies an A-10 unit. We had that, and then we had the end. And you've all seen the big background, but there are other pictures too. It was just magical, and some of the pictures I've been used by Simple Flying again and again because they're just that dramatic. I mean, you can see, you know, the
you love the glow.
Great shot.
That F-135 engine in that jet, man, is just impressive, and you know, China would love to get a hold of that tech, but they're having to put 2 engines in their copy. But anyway, continue, please.
Yes, yes, definitely. They are also trying to copy the Growler, and we should talk a bit about that tonight.
Sure.
And if we got a lot more, you know, and then I just kind of called it curtains. But I will give you guys a little preview. I am working on some more slides about Olaf Kupfel. So there you go.
Okay.
Are we off screen sharing?
We're off screen sharing now. Do you still want it on?
It's a turn. Let's keep it off while I keep working here on backfilling these slides. But I know we are all hardcore BO fans, and again, Mock, we are also big fans of you and appreciate you stepping up to fill a void that there's only one person that could do it, and that's you, Mock. That's it.
There you go. All right. Yeah.
Amen.
Mock's great. Yeah.
Yep.
Amen, brother. Amen.
That's right.
That's cool. We look forward to covering Mock for many airshow seasons. Let's see. Usually, what is it now? Are they doing 2 years now? Well, we were lucky to get Bayo for basically 3 years.
Four.
That's right. 4. That's right. That is right. Damn, that's crazy.
Because the suspension of the air shows because of
It basically became practice demo teams for the whole year of 2020, pretty much.
Yeah.
But we did get to see Bayo fly in that drive-in air show in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
That's right. We did.
That was the real thing.
That was wild.
That was when we drove through the night, right, to make it to Cheyenne and got on base and bam, bam. Yep.
Why did we have to drive through the night again? Do you remember?
Well, I think it was
scheduling.
We weren't going to stay the night in a hotel, and so we drove through the night, and then we covered the show, and then we drove home.
We just drove back. We took turns driving.
Yep. But that's what you do to cover air shows, right?
You go to, exactly. So BH World, Joe was the loudest fan at Huntington Beach 2023 at Show Center. Her F-35 CTOL, anyways.
That's the conventional takeoff and landing, the A model. Yeah.
The A model.
Anyways, yes, AA Ron.
AA Ron.
Well, it's because I asked him a couple questions on some of the technical designation for the F-35s since BH is so in tune with F-35. I'm surprised he doesn't sleep with a model in bed and kick his wife out onto the couch.
I think that BH has a similar fascination with the actual airplane, whereas Joe has more of a fascination with the pilot.
For me, it's both. It's
both.
I'm not sure.
You have to remember, I write a lot about.
I'm not those engine covers on, crew.
I'm not sure which is more worrisome, but it's. I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
I know
what you just said, Aaron, about the model and I picture BH having a human size F-35 pillow, like a body pillow, and sleeps with that at night.
Yeah. There you go. I know.
Oh man.
Hey, we love F-35. I mean, Hill Air Force Base has been. Speaking of Hill Air Force Base, that's some F-35s on the ramp there.
Aaron and I worked up in Ogden on Tuesday this week, and we saw some in the flight pattern. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's basically home to like the F-35A. I mean, it was the first, combat coded operational F-35As for the United States Air Force, with the 388th Fighter Wing and the 419th Fighter Wing. Speaking of that, there's a 388th Fighter Wing at William Tell that I captured in Savannah, Georgia. Oh, there's the Nellis F-35A, the 65th Aggressor Splinter camo jet. But hey, we love F-35. We get it, man. And we get the Bayo thing and the mock thing. We're fortunate to live in Utah where we can actually, we've covered those ladies a lot at media events, air shows, and practice shows. I was just up at Hill Air Force Base a few weeks ago for a practice show and, caught mock ripping the skies up. Hey, there's Bayo right there. As a matter of fact, a high-speed pass. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, I got my slideshow going on over my shoulder, but anyway, all right. Well,
actually.
Hey, Joe, what else you got for us tonight, man? Wait. First, before we go on to another subject you want to talk about, I just want to ask you, how did you get into aviation? When did the bug bite you? When did you get infected?
Please don't start your answer. So when I was young, I grew up in the middle class.
Oh, stop it.
Let's just say a certain movie of the 1980s called Gun.
Yep.
And then on top of it, I went to an NAS would-be open house in 2021, 2011, and sorry, I misspoke. By Centennial of Naval Aviation, and I joined the Navy League, and then boy, we've got a story to tell from there because it involves Cardassians.
I've got a great Polaroid of it.
Yeah,
the Cardassians.
Kardashian, oh nice.
So have you always? I mean, obviously, how old were you when Top Gun came out in the 80s? When Top Gun came out? 85, 86?
86.
I think
86. Yeah, 86. I'm pretty sure it was 86.
That was my senior year in high school. I saw it like 28 times.
Well, I was 6, and I think Joe said he was 42, so he was probably 4 when it came out, and I remember seeing it when I was 6, but it really grew on me as I got 8, 9 years old. I was watching it all the time and stuff like that. But
I still have our original VHS tape copy of it that I keep in my showcase, and the original cassette soundtrack tape I still have from when we were.
Oh my gosh! You know that VHS tape, Aaron, is actually worth some money if you have. Is it in the original case?
Oh yeah. I mean,
it's worth the money.
The case isn't in perfect condition, but it's good enough for me.
There's some feathering around the edges. It's not mint in the box.
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
Some of the people watching are like, "What the hell's a VHS tape?"
I know. Seriously. Or what's a cassette tape?
Yeah, cassette too. Yeah. That's hilarious.
You had to rewind it after you finished the one side, or you just flipped it over and then listened to the B side.
Yep, that's right.
But anyway, so you got obviously the love of aviation at a young age. You continued. What got you into writing about aviation and the photography side? Have you always had a talent? Because I really struggle when it comes to throwing together an article. I mean, I've done it a few times, but
I'll be honest with you. I didn't think this. I should have had a slide for this question, but I don't, and I apologize.
Oh, there you go.
2002. I was writing for the community college newspaper.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I decided to get into the game.
Okay.
And I just decided, I was covering politics, as you can probably guess. Hang on a second, I gotta unplug it.
Sure, no problem.
But the doggone thing's got my the article on it.
Remember that?
No, you're good. You're good.
But
Remember
while
in
we're
back
sitting
in
here
the-
yakking away here, I got to cover the growler coming in as Woodby because I was like, we're doing nothing. We're sitting here on
wow.
the mainland, and I'm like, we're
Okay.
doing nothing for Woodby, and so
Okay.
I've got all this interest in military aviation, and we were starting
Mhm.
to look at concepts of the growler,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, come on here, it's the original doggone,
So-
growler,
Do you remember seeing the Prowlers there at Woodby?
Oh yeah,
EA6Bs.
oh.
EA6Bs to me are the loudest jet I've ever heard. To be honest with you,
I
it doesn't even have
I've
afterburners.
stood under them, my friends. Let me get a picture up on screen, okay? Give me a second.
Sure. So
'Cause now I've
so
got
that-
the
that-
other hard drive working because sometimes it's old and it just
Oh yeah.
freezes.
No,
Yeah,
not a
let-
problem, man.
let-
We're
this.
here to hear your story, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
We love hearing
What-
everything.
While you're pulling that up, Joe, where were you born and so where are you from?
Skagit County. But
Is that in Washington?
Yeah, where?
yeah, Washington. And hopefully you
Oh.
can now see the Prowler in the middle and the Growlers on the side.
Yeah, here
but,
we go. Oh yeah,
yeah.
there you go. There you
Oh,
go.
wow, nice.
Awesome.
It's a great shot.
Thanks. Figured I had to call it up, chair because
Yeah, that's awesome.
that was from the
Man.
retirement ceremony. But
Okay, nice.
So for those of you that are watching that don't know, the EA6B, let's see. I just froze up. Can you
You
guys-
did. You're frozen.
Uh-oh.
I guess he's
Stand
all.
by.
You're back.
Stand by.
I just said, oh, okay. You're not back.
shit.
Can you still hear me? Okay, there we go. So anyway, I was just gonna say really quick. Sorry. What? What happened?
I just heard a shit. Fuck.
Oh,
That wasn't me.
I
didn't
know.
say that.
There we go. Okay.
That's all right.
No,
Mom can't get mad because it was from one of our guests, so I love it.
That's right. So I love it. Okay, that's great. Anyway, for those of you that don't know, the EA-6B Prowler was the electronic attack aircraft. Basically, for the whole military, once the Air Force retired the EF-111 Raven, and what that jet was for was to go in before strike packages and jam the enemy radars and shoot off, radar seeking missiles and basically clear a space in the air for the attack aircraft so they didn't have to, so they weren't targeted as easy.
I was
And
just
the
gonna ask,
yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Are those 4-seaters or was that the?
They're four.
They're 4-seater. Okay, all right. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. So
All right.
anyway, so then the Navy wanted to modernize, and so then they took the Super Hornet airframe and then turned that into the primary electronic attack airframe, and that's why we have the Growler today, the EA-18.
Tony, where's
Growler.
the music?
So exactly. Oh yeah, Flight of the Intruder. So that's not quite a Prowler, but that's an intruder. That's the attack.
Or
Yeah.
ASIC, excuse me.
Yeah, it's based on the A6 airframe.
Yep.
But yeah, and so that's why when Joe says, that's the retirement ceremony or whatever, and then the arrival of the Growler, that's what he's referring to,
pretty
because
awesome,
that
yeah.
just happened fairly recently within the last decade? What year was that, Joe? Do you remember?
Not 2015.
Okay, so yeah, about a decade ago, roughly.
9 years.
But yeah,
Let's keep it accurate. But
that's right.
yeah, that was pretty much the end of an era, and it was just decided, look, the EA-6B did its job. It was using old pods, old equipment, and it couldn't keep up. And what? I got something else to throw up on screen. It's not 16.9. I got to warn you, but we're gonna throw it up anyway because I think it's just too important.
That's okay. Let's see it here.
And
I'll
can you
I'll
see a
turn it on.
photo?
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
There it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep. Gotta love it.
I don't know if people can read the text, so I'll read it.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead and read it anyway, but
Yeah,
everybody
it's
can
the
see it
Prowler.
clearly.
okay, that's the Prower story. Doesn't get a lot of glory. Doesn't always get the fanfare. Just does the job because it needs to. It does it right, and then it just finishes out strong, and that's how we did it. The quotes from Commander Chris Jason. He was the last commander of an EA-6B squadron, and the photo you see is of an EA-6B with fuel tanks. But that's pretty much the Prower story right there. It was an old workhorse that sadly was getting too hard to maintain. Let me get
awesome.
Thanks.
That's great.
I appreciate the kind words because I love my photography. It's one of the few marketable skills I have.
There you go.
And I'm sure you agree with me that politics is not my strong suit. But yes, I have to poke fun at myself right now.
There you go.
Well, I do enjoy your photos. Yes, they're very good. So well done.
Yeah, I just wish I had more time to post them. Less time to write. But we talked about the writing thing. It started at community college. I wanted to be a journalist, and we moved up from there. And occasionally did some political stuff, and then this kind of goes into another story of mine. And I will try to keep it acute because it's already 6:54 here on the left coast. But I joined the Navy League in 2012 to get away from politics. I went through some rather difficult stuff locally and wanted to get out and thought, I could just hang out and go watch the Jets. And,
wouldn't we all?
And then all of a sudden, the bloody Kardashians show up.
Oh, dear Lord.
Now, are you talking Star Trek or the reality TV show?
Star Trek. As in the ones with phasers and they're arrogant. They're highly arrogant. They claim to have a culture, and they don't mind conquering stuff. And
yeah, sure.
Let me show everyone a great photo of Free Rooks jets, so you can kind of see what the Growler is.
Okay.
Yeah, just a nice formation break. Sorry, couldn't help but share.
That's okay.
But let me kind of tell you all, why let me get this going present full size so we get this working this time, and then let me hit the button.
Okay.
Oh boy, come on. Slideshow should work this time. Okay, we're in presentation mode. Can you see my cursor?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, we can see it.
Yep.
All right, I'm circling all left Coopville as if I'm in a racetrack pattern.
Okay.
Or trying to. There's a bus stop about here, just for those that want to get off and watch runway 14, which is where you get really close. And then there's another bus stop about midway for the service room. You have to hike down a bit to get photos like this one.
Great. Yeah.
Schedules are on the Facebook page of NES Woodby Island. I do have to warn you this time of year, low clouds. If the jets feel like they got to fly super low, they're like, gee, we better do it up at Alt Field, which is up in the north, and it isn't that great to access. So there's that.
So is this a new practice area, or
no?
Is this
Great question.
Been there? Yeah.
The field's been there since World War II. It's had jets continuously since I think 1967. I'll have to check. But let me kind of explain who CORE is. They are citizens of the EB's Reserve. Think Safe Skies, Utah, plus lawfare.
Oh, good Lord.
In Washington State.
Oh God.
I mean, these guys, they know they have filed multiple civil claims lawsuits that I don't have. I really should check in on. They are, they filed a lawsuit demanding an EIS and dropped the lawsuit when they got the EIS. And then in 2019, when they got the record of decision that they didn't like, they decided we're going to sue over that. And we've had a lawsuit going on since then. The original lawsuit did try cap bounces at OLF Coopville, but the new record of decision by the first Trump administration, 80-20 OLF Coopville versus Alt Field. Alt Field against the main field of NES would be KNUW to the north. All
So
I will.
alt filled is the main, I guess, would be island. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Because
that's
I'm
what I'm
not
saying.
I'm not too familiar with that area. I mean, I know the names of the bases and whatever, but I'm not familiar with that. Okay, so
Yeah.
basically, there's a big community. Well, I don't know, a big. It's probably like 4 people that have some kind of power.
I'm glad that you showed this slideshow, because when you said Cardassians, this is immediately where my mind went.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah, me too.
that's why I said Star Trek, because I was like, wait a second
Yes,
now.
it
Wait
is.
a second.
I grew up on. I was bullied a lot as a child, and
Okay.
let's just get this personal sharing out of the way, and I hope Beal is listening.
Go
because
ahead.
this is really important.
Go ahead.
I have got multiple disabilities. I have a bad back, bad left eye, autism, PTSD. The military was not going to take me. My heart's absolutely broken. As a kid, I'd have aim high posters. I try to break up fights at school. Try to, try to be fighter pilot, because I always consider those guys flipping awesome, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I really can't thank our military service members enough for protecting us and everything.
Yeah.
And so
100% agree.
Thank you. So getting this thing for Olaf Kupil is really important to me. And there's only one pilot that could, 2 pilots that could possibly make Olaf better, and they both are based out of Utah, and we know who they are.
You don't say.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
funny.
have to, because those guys, they really put on a great show. I mean, you could see in this photo here the IFOLS lights. That's the light that's to guide these guys in and out. And you could see them smoking rubber. I mean, I have to beg them to use the afterburners, because the noise whiners, crybabies. And if you thought the Safe Skies Utah was obnoxious at the front of a demo team, I can assure you that Core is 100 times worse.
Wow, that's crazy.
I've been firing a lot of letters to the editor, trying to jam them with letters to the editor, op-ed. Sometimes I've gotten in trouble, become the issue. I had to step away for a while for multiple reasons. One of which being I was becoming a lightning rod, and the media was not covering these Core right. So I kind of ingratiated myself as being part of this group called Team Would-Be, which is a civilian booster group. And also the Corporate Navy League. Really encourage people, if you see this kind of whining around jet noise, go join your Navy League. It's a good idea.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah, that's great. I mean, there needs to be a lot of advocates for things like that in the other direction, Otherwise,
absolutely.
Yeah, there does. I mean,
you
can't just let the whiners win. Just let them whine until they do. Like, there's got to be people that are like, well, you know what? That's great that you don't like it, but we do.
And here's the thing: I have offered these people multiple times over the years that I have contacts with some of Key Publishing's great magazines like Air International and Combat Aircraft Journal, and I'm like, I will gladly help them list their homes to sell them there, because they'd make more money there, and they always turn me down. So
yeah, turn them into AvGeek like hostels or something.
Yes, exactly. That's one reason why I call them the Cardassians, because I want the USS Defiant. I want to take a Defiant class Starship, and go blast them. I mean, these guys, these Core don't care.
Well, it's typically part of the the citizens that they don't understand how things work. The way that we have the most lethal military in the world is not just because we buy nice expensive jets and throw millions of dollars at the pilots to train and pay for that. Well, pay the millions of dollars to train the pilots. I'm sure the pilots aren't getting millions unless you're really smart, but anyway, not being in the military, because I'm like you in a way, Joe. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I was never able to touch the military at all. And I've been a type 1 diabetic since I was 19. So that was like, you just couldn't join if you have money issue. And so, I mean, that's part of why we're doing this and why I got into photography and those type of things is it's the way that I was able to kind of stay in the community. Um, I would have loved, to have served at least for a minimum amount of time or maybe longer and maybe retiring. You never know. I mean, Tony served. He was in the Air Force and the Utah Air National Guard. And so at least one of the three of us was able to do that, and we're proud of that. But these people, they don't understand. In order to prevent war, you have to be so powerful and strong. It's just like what Reagan said, peace through strength. And the only way that we have that strength is our military needs to be able to train. And they need to be able to do this around where they live and where their families are. And so they're not having to deploy to just go train.
Yeah.
So it's like, let them do their shit. Let them get awesome at it. So that if China or some crazy ass nation ever tries to come knocking at our door, the crazy thing is those people complaining are going to be the first ones like, hey, there's soldiers on my front lawn. Where the hell are you? It's like, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're the one that's been complaining about it for
jet
years.
noise sounds exactly the same whether you're no matter what language you speak, no matter what flag you're under. I mean, and so I'd rather listen to the jet noise.
I respectfully have to disagree.
Why is that?
There is American jet noise, and then there's everybody else's. And quite frankly, I would love to turn to this floor and say, you know what, nice reserve you've got there. The all left goes, we've got a housing crisis in Washington State. The pressure on that reserve is going to be immense. And I would just say, you know what, you should get down your knees and be grateful that those guys are down there. You should be grateful that you have a protection from this housing crisis that is, pricing people away from job centers, not just Seattle, but Boeing, which thankfully resolved their strike. And I mean,
I read that actually. Just recently.
Good for them.
I'm just bringing it up just to really stress the point here. And the thing is you guys have got to stay positively engaged. Don't roll in the mud with them like I did in 2013 and end up having the publicly walk away for a while. But just tell your side of the story in letters theater and in social media, especially now King Elon Musk, for all practical purposes, has said we're now citizen journalists. I'm like, okay,
we are.
Your Majesty.
We are.
That's
Absolutely
fine.
are. The legacy media has failed us on so many levels, but we can talk about that. We'll stick to airports.
I will tell you how I got into simple flying. Is I had a friend of mine in 2022 just kind of say, hey, they're hiring. Why don't you apply? I had a great Zoom interview. I got hired. I've got over 700 articles done.
Nice.
Damn, 700.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I've gotten to go from the grunt work of doing commercial aviation to now doing military aviation. I'm doing a paper on in-gas tonight, which is a next generation aerial refueling system, which I'm sure some of your listeners really want to read about tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
maybe we
will.
It might not be till tomorrow night because I'm trying to get comment from I've only got comment from one of 3 different manufacturers, but I want to make sure the manufacturers get the comment. In-gas is really about low observable tankers, because what's the point of having a tanker if it advertises the position of the low observable F-35s, NGAD, CCA, F-22, etc.
Right. Absolutely.
That's the whole point of in-gas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I'm covering. And that's I mean, it's just to me, it's become like a part-time job for somebody on disability. It does not pay well, but in money, but it pays well in opportunities and not just exposure. And we as photographers all know what I'm talking about when I put air quotes around exposure. But media access to events. I mean, I've been able to cover everything from flight attendant pickets to new route announcements to book offers, and of course air shows, and that's really important because
Well,
Why don't I just share this here, because it is 8:08 BO time and 7:08 left coast time.
well, I just want to say experiences and memories are so much more valuable than money.
Yes.
For
Oh, I
sure.
forgot to mention, I got to cover the F-15EX launch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that was a really special moment. You know, the local guys that provide the protection to the air sovereignty, to see them get the
Yeah.
new fighter jets and see the Biden administration finally get this done. God bless Joe Biden. Check. You know, and just to see those guys rip around a burner, I gotta tell you, was worth
Yawn.
all the hassle. I mean, that
Yeah,
was just,
no. Yeah, that's great. I mean, because those
mean, here it is.
F-15EXs there on the West Coast here, those are basically, if there's incoming NORAD, they're scrambled.
Yep.
And they're
Yeah.
our first line of defense here on the mainland. So, yeah, that's awesome.
I gotta say though, if anyone tries to attack us in the air, I think if they hear we have VAO, that they're probably gonna rethink it, right?
I would hope so. I would hope the Utah Air National Guard gets Vermont. It's F-35 says Vermont does not want them, but I'm sure Donald Trump would like to make people happy, and as he works towards getting that 2-term limit removed.
Okay. So, Joe,
Great.
What if Trump said, "Hey, I'd have Bayo and Mock fly Air Force One for me in my 3rd term"? Would you vote for him?
No, because I want one of them to fly the
there we go.
F-35 demo.
Oh, okay.
Finally,
Still gotta fly the demo,
threshold
brother.
for Joe.
Gotta fly a demo. Gotta fly a demo because there's nobody else better. I mean,
Awesome.
That's
you know,
funny.
I'm just showing off some slides from what a great day it was out there. And
Oh yeah, here.
this is why you put up with what you put up with in the aviation specialty media. It's days like this.
Yeah.
Man, I love the EX without the conformal tanks. Go back to those. Yeah. Without the conformal tanks, that's sexy. I mean,
that was at PDX, right?
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
This is PDX. This is the famous. You've got a parking garage right here. I mean, it goes back to, you really should plan on coming out to Hillsboro if and when they announce the May date next year, because you can do things like hang out in the parking garage to watch the takeoffs and landings of the rehearsal. Go out to the show, get Twilight. Do it all in mass transit, so you don't have to rent a car, which is big cash. Here's some of the weapons from that day. It's incredible, and that's one of the reasons why it's days like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And, we get it, man. We get it. Every opportunity we get to cover something, we take. I mean, obviously, we're grateful and we appreciate it, and I mean, it's an honor for us to cover those things, just because we're so grateful for our military and for the men and women in uniform and protecting this country, the greatest country on earth and that it ever has been, in my opinion. I mean, it's always an honor for us to do that. And frankly, to have people on like you as a guest who feel the same way. I mean, that's what this is all about. The aviation community is so much fun because there's so much in common, and it doesn't matter what's going on in our lives personally or politically or whatever. Like, we can sit here and we can just geek out about fighter jets. And
exactly. And you know what? That's the thing. I feel obligated to put in a few plugs. I know we're starting to run out of time, but I want to, bring up, one more experience I got to have, and that was with the tailhook presentation. And I would really highly recommend getting a membership so you can go to the conference every year, because I got to simulate landing on an aircraft carrier in the F-35 Lockheed Martin sim.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Yep.
Look at that.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I aced the landing, but then again, I had magic carpet.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's a thing. I mean, I could get in touch with, I'm trying to also arrange something special for Tailhook next year. Stay tuned. I will obviously announce it when it is arranged. but it does involve a landing signal officer, and a play. So that's the only clues I'm given.
Cool.
There's also something else I kind of want to announce, which is I want to be careful how I say this. So if I pause out of respect for Seafair and Mock. But I'm really heartbroken I didn't get to interview Mock and talk about the F-35B and the F-35A and flying the different models and how that works and all the, because I really am curious how it all works out. And when I sit down with these pilots, I want to talk planes. I don't want to talk politics. I don't want to talk gender. I wish we move on from that kind of stuff. And our community generally does. And that's who I write for. It's the flying is the community. And then the politicians, including my U.S. representative, read it because they know we're writing, from a place of knowledge. We're trying to share knowledge. We're not. We don't.
Sure. Yeah.
We've got a mantra: stick to the facts. And try to keep our opinions to a minimum. And even though I've got some pretty strong opinions on some subjects, I try to keep them dialed back because I definitely want to talk about, flying the planes and what it's like and how it's like. And it's also a privilege to talk to these industry folks and get interviews and access to them because that's why I go. It's another reason why I go to the conventions. There's an AFA symposium in March in Denver. That's close to Wings Over the Rockies, so you might want to try that in March. Stay tuned. And it's just a great way to learn because even now after all these bookshelves full of books, most of them I've read. All the pictures, all the opportunities. So I'm still learning stuff, and it's just a really for a film math like myself who loves learning, it's really rewarding career. And finally, speaking of Mock, I put together a couple slides of her. So I don't think it's fair to her to leave her out because she really has done the impossible. And that is carry on the legacy of BO. And I'd feel bad if she was left out. So here we go.
Let's see it.
Yep. Right. And this is from Utah.
Oh,
this was so cool from Seafair. I mean, the way she drops the flares right over, in the J turn at the end. Absolutely amazing. The sky wasn't cooperative. We had, a lot of wildfire smoke, but great job. And I'll just leave it at that.
Well, you go back to that first slide though, Joe, because it
crap.
was barely up there for a second. Just want to see that.
Yeah,
please.
I'd be happy to. Here we go.
I took our watermark off for a second. Let's see. Oh yeah, nice.
Oh, I remember the flowers.
Yep, yeah. Hey, there's the flowers.
I remember. I remember seeing you come into the media area, and you were hauling all your stuff in. You had all these flowers, and I was like, "Oh my god, look at all that!"
That's awesome.
Well, I wanted them to hear a lot of applause and support from the guys in the room.
Sure.
And that's important to me, especially right now. And I'm not talking just politically. I'm talking, it is a lot of work these young women put in to give us our weekends and protect our freedoms and tear up the place. And I don't know if if we've shown enough appreciation for that because it is a lot of things have to go right for these air shows to go off right. And it's like, we toss flowers we used to give flowers after ballet, after concerts. So I'm like, this is my form of a concert. Okay. This is my form of a concert. And if you understand that, you understand me.
So Joe, I do have a question for you. So, at some point, eventually there's going to be a dude in the cockpit again of the F-35 demo team. Are you still going to bring flowers?
No. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to just say this right now. And I'm going to probably start a stir, but I don't see any dude ever doing what BO or Mock have done. I don't see that happening. I think that there's some kind of magical power or something that puts out flares and bends the wedger and tears up the doggone place. And frankly, I wish these toy companies would sell Superwoman dolls of Mock and BO and give them some money because they also need money. Remember the 1-900 It's all about you got to pay the talent, man.
Yeah, we all
we pay.
got to make a buck. That's right.
And we pay football players millions of dollars to do what? Run around with a football? You know?
Yeah, well,
I
can get on board with that 100%. Like, we need to pay a lot of other people that have way more important jobs. But
and with 3D printers and AI, anything's possible, dude.
Yeah, I can't wait for the doll that I can't wait for the remote control device that drops flares all over your room when you're trying to find your man cave, where you're trying to find your remote control to turn on to the Seahawks or the Utah Hockey Club in your case, or the Utah.
There you go, Utah Hockey Club, baby. Yeah, I've been watching.
I have a game suggestion for them, and you're probably not surprised.
What is it?
The Utah Bios. Or the Utah Flares. That works. Or the Utah Flares.
Utah Flares. That's a good one.
That's nice.
I was always pushing, oh shit, I'm frozen again.
Yeah, we can hear you though.
And we don't see any comments on here. I don't know what's going on. I don't see any new comments.
Yeah. Hey, anybody?
I think everybody's watching. I think everybody's enjoying the show, but I was always saying, it should be like the Utah Panthers or the Jets or whatever. But
that's already taken.
Panthers
I'm afraid.
And Jets. I know.
Yeah. Oh well.
But that's okay. Anyway, I'm
whatever
it is.
Yeah, because Utah Jets is already taken by Winnipeg. Panthers is already taken by Florida. They just won the Stanley Cup, so they're never giving that name up.
Florida,
but I like the idea of the Utah Flares. That would be
and even Lightning's taken.
Yeah, I know.
Tampa Bay Lightning. That's right. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's the Utah Fusions, or maybe the Rude Rams, or what about the Black Widows?
Or how about what I was thinking Joe said earlier? How about this is what I was thinking Joe said earlier. How about the Kardashians?
Oh my
God! That's not what I'm thinking.
When you first said that, my brain was like, the Kardashians, but then I got what you were saying. But anyway,
the Utah Ailerons.
I like the idea of the Utah Defiance as well. If we're gonna go down this road,
there you go.
Star Trek. Or
there you go.
There you go. There you go. Cool.
I think hockey's taken, but I'm gonna run a check.
Okay. While you're doing that,
do it, go ahead, Tony. I
was just gonna say before we let you go, we've got about 10 more minutes. Really quick, I just while we've got you, Joe, I wanted to do a quick rundown of the Zhuhai Airshow happening in China, 2024.
Oh yeah.
Just with some of their aircraft they've got. Of course, the J-35 has made an official appearance. Their J-15s, the Su-57 Felon. Let me pull some of this up here. I'll just show a couple of pictures here. So I think this is a file photo, a stock photo.
That's a J-20.
Yep. There's a J-20. And then, let's see.
Oh, okay.
And then here's an Su-57.
Nice.
Yeah, the stealth plane with screws showing on the outside. Great little.
I know.
It's so funny because
all the rivets and the finishing on that jet. Yeah, I don't know how that's not gonna bounce radar left and right like all.
Here's a video I'm gonna show here in just a second of the highly classified and technical process that they actually install and actually paint around the screws. I guess it's a brand new technology here. Let's do this right now.
Here we go. What does Tony have in store?
I know, you never know.
Where is it? Why didn't it show up?
I don't know, but I don't see it.
Because the photo's still going on. Okay, there we go. So
there we go.
Scroll
painting over it, just the drywall paint.
This is highly classified out of Russia. This is the first time you're ever seeing this on the interwebs.
Russians are so stupid they invade Ukraine and think that that kind of they don't even clean up their so-called low observable.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about that. That's why I'm like I do the little air quotes when I'm saying fifth generation. It's
Well, that's just it, and it's probably one of the reasons why you haven't seen the Falcons over Ukraine with the surface to air missiles, and now
because the words are going to
over
get
there.
shot down because they're not stealthy at
Exactly.
all. They just look cool.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool, but it's not.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, the Chinese ripoff. I mean, nice that they, make it look a little taller, and they,
remember.
There's no espionage going on in this photo.
I know, right?
Remember watching Sesame Street as a kid? One of these things is just like the other. Oh my God. It's like, can you make it more obvious?
So many similarities there. Not as cool, but
hit the soundboard.
China is asshole.
Oh, jeez.
Or there's this one. Here's our newest one.
You are so stupid.
It's like, and could you imagine when they actually, like, the engineers, they come up with they photocopied the plans that they received from whatever spy here in the mainland, and then they get to Xi, and he's like, you think we could make it a little bit different? No, that's an accent.
That sounded like Hector.
That sounded like
I started.
You sounded like a conquistador.
So there's this. Oh no! You think we can make it a little bit different, SA?
Hey, you know what they don't have though is they don't have Bayo.
Yeah, I'll tell you something else too. I saw a couple guys try to do a demo, and it was a silly flyover with no burner. Not even a burner. That's why we should just say, sorry, only women may apply to be on the F-35 demo team because men don't know how to use the burner at an air show.
Oh, I don't know.
Joe might know, but
shots fired.
I think Dojo would have some words with you.
Right.
As far as burner goes.
He didn't do the full demo. Historic demo.
Yeah,
but
I
think frankly there is BO mocking and everybody else trying to be like them. There's literally the base should sell search saying burn it like BO. Bam them like mock. Nobody's gonna do it better. I mean, but speaking of doing things better,
some t-shirts like that.
Yeah, burn it like I mean, after all, look at my background. But we got to talk. You guys want to talk about this thing, and then I want to talk about the J-15D.
Okay.
And
all right.
what I'm looking at here is a bunch of J-10s in of the formation team. They've got a Sukhoi flanker of some kind, and then on the second row, I see Chinese attempt to emulate the C-17 flanked by Chinese attempt to eliminate the Tu-16 Badger. Couple more flankers.
Right.
And,
well, I was gonna say, let's see. I see a C-141. I see a C-17. I see a couple MiG-29s. I see a bunch of F-15s and F-16s. Oh wait, this is China. All their versions of our. I mean, do they have anything that's original looking at all?
It's like
the B1. Did you say that? The B1.
Oh.
2024珠海航展亮点盘点，除了歼351、手自公开，还有歼15T、苏57亮相。虽然距离2024珠。
Yeah, exactly. I know. Look at all that stuff. It
that looks like a C-130.
Right.
It's basically
you guys have
like a Reaper
idea at all anywhere?
It's the Five Below toy section of aviation.
There you go. Yeah.
That's an original idea. It looks kind of original, but
looks like ours. It looks like the Navy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does look. What was that? The X-47.
X-47.
Yeah, and then there's the.
There's the J-35.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh, look at that.
Interesting. That's crazy.
It looks like bets that gamers would put in their games, and they can't use the actual jets because of copyright, and they don't want to pay the money for the copyright.
It looks so funny because it looks like all these aircraft are like the early versions of what we have today. They just didn't make it through.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
like,
Yeah, and there's more to that, but let me add as well.
Yeah,
There's
go
the
ahead with
35 production line. Lockheed
yeah.
Martin built over 1,000 of them now, and you can see the Chinese. That's their one original idea, the J-20.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
really intended to be a low observable missile truck, and like long range strike missiles, long range anti
yeah.
array
Yeah.
AWACS, anti P8A. And then there's J-20s.
Yeah, what's their
nice. Trying to
what's their bomber called? I forgot what their bomber is
the
called.
8. I think it's called. Let me check something. The 8.6.
Yeah, because one of those was just intercepted right off of Alaska recently for the first time in
no, that
history.
was a Bear bomber, but there's also
No. The China
said
actually flew one of their bombers. Also, there was one of the Chinese bombers, and I just don't remember.
Oh, that's not looking like a
I
space
stand
shuttle at all.
corrected.
I know, right?
I know you probably don't like this network, but let's get this thing up, okay?
Well, you got CNN coming up.
Here,
Yeah,
I want to pause. I want to go back to this. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
They didn't. So this isn't actually something from a top secret NASA program. They stole this from the $6 Million Man. Remember that TV series back in the 70s?
Oh yeah, yep.
The lifted bodies that he was flying in and crashed. Anyway, that's
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Joe, what do you have about the Chinese jet you were talking about? The J-15, you said, or the J?
Yeah, hang on. Let me get this.
Okay, you pull that up. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It would be interesting to go cover a show like that, but they would never let you take your camera back. Hey, Brett.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they'd even let me take a camera over, but
yeah, I don't think you'd get your memory card
based
back.
on the Sukhoi 33 naval flanker. In fact, they bought a copy from Ukraine. They had one just sitting around and kept tuning it up. Now you can see here that the Chinese also bought a half-completed aircraft carrier from Ukraine back in the 2000s. They rebuilt it, called the Aoning, and then they built a copy, somewhat copied with improvements, called the Shandong.
Okay.
Now they've got their own original carrier working on, but they bought the T-10K-3 and then kept working on improving it. I mean, it's
right.
They turned this into their standard fighter, and you can see here, just a basic jet, and now they're going to make it capable. Here's more J-15s. Here's the damn Kuznetsov ripoff tuning.
Wow.
And now you can see that they've kind of, geez, don't those wingtip pods look kind of familiar?
Oh yeah, there you go. They're trying to make it a Gala.
A Sino growler. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we need to support these guys and their training and everything.
Totally.
Is the PRC is out there emulating them. They want this capability. They want the capabilities of the growler. And it's really important, to support, having a better system. We don't know what's in their silly pods. They've even got a land-based version of it.
It's funny how the J-15, is that the J-15 that you were showing us?
Yes. Now this is a J-16D.
Okay, so the one looks like all it is a MiG-29 with canards.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that. It's more the Sukhoi 27.
Yeah, the SU-27.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Closer. Yep.
Yeah. Let me hang on a second. Let me scroll up.
I'm retarded.
Okay, let's not use the R word, please. It's a bad word. But
I was referring
here
to me.
with my cursor.
That was for Tony.
Let's not use it for anybody. But the tail hook, it's got tail hook here. It's got canards for extra pitch control.
Right. I mean, it's got control surfaces in every direction.
Yes, it is a highly maneuverable aircraft.
Looks really stealthy, though.
And that's not the intent. The intent is to dogfight is to lob a lot of missiles off of it. And when it's done with missiles, or almost done, it
Yeah.
can get close and really kick
Right.
your butt on mounted sight. AA-11
Yeah.
Archer.
Yeah.
These things do not mess around.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's sorry, but it's one of the things I really want to stress to you guys is the importance of investing in the military right now, because we do need peace through strength.
We do.
And we need to, say what you want about President Biden, but you better remember this guy. Biden did invest in the Growler program. He was part of 2 administrations that did. He sent the First Lady to NAS Woodby for the first visit. He fully supports the Growler. I don't want to say anything bad about our president-elect tonight. That's not cool, but he won fair and square. But he better invest in these Growlers, because the Chinese version's coming online. Some analysts think that some of these jets in this picture are J-15Ds. And as the Chinese work on deploying a capability, it's going to be really important that we have one of our own that works.
Yeah,
because these guys are going to be able to escort strikes. They're also going to try to triangulate our ship's positions for hypersonic missile strikes. If God forbid it comes to that, and I mean God forbid, because hypersonic is really, really fast and it's really, really hard.
Yeah.
You do not want to mess around with this kind of thing.
Yeah,
I mean, the BRC is not just copying; they're building on and improving on what they've got. And granted, again, the J-15D is based on an early prototype of the Sukhoi 33 and the Sukhoi 27. Chinese were able to license, produce some, and then improve them. At least the Chinese don't exactly sell those, but that's the backbone of their military.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I gotta believe the new commander in chief is not. I think he's heavily vested in the military. He's probably got intelligence on a lot of what's going on, and I really don't see us falling behind in that.
Peace through strength
in that category. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed. But
really quickly before we wrap up, I just want one question for you, AvGeek Joe. Do you know why the MiG-29 landed in Vegas? And I think this is a real
well, it depends on what airport, because I would not surprise me if the U.S. Air Force got smart and had an aggressive squadron.
Right. Aaron and I can actually talk about this one, right?
Yeah. That's actually one of Jared Isaacman's MiG-29s.
I heard a military jet today, and I was outside and I heard something. I thought it was going south, and Aaron lives down south from me, so I text Aaron because he always he can always look it up, and I'm like, hey, there's a military jet heading south. What was it? And he texted me back, and it was the MiG-29.
Yeah, it made a fuel stop in Provo, Utah today on its way down to Vegas.
Yeah.
So we don't know why it went to Vegas and went to Nellis, but I believe their Citation jet that was flying with it went into McCarran. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool. Good, anyway, good question. There's your answer.
Yeah. There you go. Altitude slugs. And then one other thing. I know, Tony, you brought up Brett, but Brett has been spending a lot of time covering both the Trump and Harris campaign over the last several months, and he's done an amazing job. I wish I could say that in a Trump voice, because that would be perfect. But anyway, he has done an amazing job. Posting photos from rallies and campaign stops, both with like Trump Force One and Air Force Two, and it's been awesome watching Brett and all of his access, and he's had lots of his photos posted, throughout, digital publications, probably even print. But anyway, congrats, Brett, on your coverage. It's been fun to follow.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So it's cool. Brett jumped on here. Watch it not be the Brett. I think it is
running a little
another
long.
Brett Johnson.
Yes, another Brett Johnson. Exactly. Running a little long tonight, so I just wanted to pull up one more.
You said that last time.
I'm sorry.
Running long, but here's one more. We'll just
take a few minutes. Take a few minutes and wrap it up.
Yeah, we're not going to do. We won't be doing Instagram stories from accounts.
Right.
Tonight. I'm sorry.
Probably a good idea for tonight.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a pretty important story. So I just just because of the success that Elon Musk has had and how amazingly crazy the Starship Flight 5 test was.
Yeah, 5 was wild.
So this comes from Felix Spacetime. A NOTAM has been released for Starship Flight 6 starting November 18th.
Wow, that's coming up soon.
So that's
nice.
That's pretty exciting. And
that is exciting.
And it's like, well, how do you know that it's for? Well, here's the actual NOTAM itself. From the F8, can you guys see this okay?
Can you zoom in?
Yeah, you guys zoom in. Zoom
in on this. Sorry, I'm not fast enough.
I think you can just go at the very top of the document and zoom in.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it.
Better.
So, anyway, NOTAM Bravo 090905/24. Blah, 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 blah. Dangerous area for launching of rocket Starship Super Heavy Orbital Test Flight 6.
Nice.
Dude, that's awesome to hear all that together.
Yep.
Begins on the 18th of November. So we are very excited about that. We brought you live coverage of the last test. So we will try and do that next time.
Well, live coverage through the SpaceX streaming. We weren't there.
Correct. Correct. Yes.
One of these days
you
we'll be.
Blew it, brother. Just kidding. No, I know we weren't there. We were carrying various different feeds, especially the SpaceX.
It was a fun live stream.
Yeah, it was a great feed.
Yep, it was very fun to do that. AvGeek Joe, before we let you know, sir, give us your socials so people can follow you. And I know for sure that they can read a lot of your work on Simple Flying.
Yes, awesome. They can. Simpleflying.com. For all of our stuff. I have my own personal bit.ly link. It's simply bit. I'm going to put in the internal chat so you guys can. Maybe I can get on here. Let me see. Let me put up.
While you're
I just changed it to my story. Bit.ly goes to all my stories. You can see our favorite pilots on there. Why don't we do that? Why don't we just for grins put on because this guy apparently knows what he's doing. And you can see kind of intro to me. There's a link to Insta.
Okay.
LinkedIn, my email inbox, which I monitor regularly. And you can see somebody we all admire. Yeah, great,
nice.
Certified. And you can, I'm going to keep that pin there until the day I'm forced out of Simple Flying. Hopefully, forced out because I'm old, retired, and I still got a story pinned from when it was the best era in air shows. But you can see a conversation on the F-15EX. You can see talk about the A-10. You can see me interview with Mad.
Cool.
You can see a lot of stuff I cover now is defense. I used to cover a lot of civilian stuff. I also, no promises at this point, but I do cover an annual Christmas gift thing. I don't know if we're going to do that this year, simply because new management at Simple Flying. So hopefully they'll approve it, and hopefully they'll understand my desire to want to advertise so you can buy Christmas gifts, aviation gifts. Obviously, a certain website, I hear it's called RampCheck, will be a part of it this year.
There
nice.
You go.
Nice.
News right here.
Beautiful.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun chatting with you. We'll definitely do this again. So
for sure, yeah.
There's the RampCheck experience I always wanted.
It's been a pleasure, Joe. That's for sure.
It certainly has. So yeah, I guess that wraps it up for tonight. Like I said, we'll do Instagram stories next week. We had more important shit to talk about tonight.
Yeah,
but it was fun. Thanks again for having Joe on the podcast tonight. And don't forget, it's supposed to be, and we'll do better at this, a live show every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, right here on X, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook.
And hey, we might even have another guest next week that I've been chatting with.
Oh, good.
Might happen too. They'll be exciting. So
nice. It's great.
Well, I believe that's it. Thank you everybody for watching tonight. I'm Tony.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Ryan. Good day.
And I'm Joe, and I got BO.
See you, Joe.
And that's Joe.
Do I